Hi and welcome on to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Only one day to go now until the Euros. Euro 2020 gets underway. I'm really looking forward to that. Don't forget, you can check out the Don Robbie channel. That's my other channel where we do all football on there. We're going to be covering all the Euro games. We've got a big launch going on tomorrow night from the Box Park live. So make sure you check that one out on the Don Robbie channel. But we're here to talk about transfers. And as I said, as we close in on the Euros, I expect once the Euros are on, there'll be lots of transfer rumors around players playing at the Euros, but it could slow down some of the activity of transfers getting done because players are actively playing for their countries and have got their minds on other things. So could the deal for Granit Xhaka get done before everything kicks off tomorrow? Switzerland don't actually play tomorrow, but before it all kind of gets underway for Switzerland, the rumors are intensifying today that Granit Xhaka is going to be moving to Roma. It seems, if you follow all the rumors, it seems almost certain. We're hearing a fee of anything from about 18 million to 20 million, which a fan was pointing out to me yesterday. That represents a loss of 15 million. I don't think you can really work it out that way because he was and has been at Arsenal quite a long time. So, since 2016. So we have got quite a few years out of Granit Xhaka. Not always productive, but we've got quite a few years out of him. But it does look like he is going to be moving to Roma. I think for me, that's the best thing for both parties, for Arsenal and for Granit Xhaka, is that it is time for him to move on. And if he does move on, in the other direction, could Ruben Neves be coming? Ruben Neves, heavily linked still. That 20 million, say, that would be gathered from the sale of Granit Xhaka could be used towards paying for Ruben Neves, who's valued at around about £35 million. Wolves, they've got a new manager in place now. Whether a lot of it's going to come down to him. Does he want to keep Neves, or does he want to sort of, refresh the whole squad and bring in some of his own players? He's a Portuguese manager. Previously he was, I think, managed at Benfica, so he'll be well aware of the Portuguese players. Ruben Neves is in the Portuguese squad. He actually played last night when Portugal beat Israel 4-0, had a decent game as well. For me, I've said it before, I think he's a quality player. I wouldn't be against Ruben Neves if that's the sort of replacement that's coming in for a Granit Xhaka. I'm not against that. I say it every day, he scores goals from outside the box, which is something that a lot of our midfield players just cannot do. So, let's really keep locked in to see what happens. Could there be some activity more on the Xhaka thing over the next couple of days, but then with Neves possibly moving, again, that could be slowed by the fact that he's going to be performing at the Euros for Portugal, and they're in a group of death. They got some real big games coming up. What about another player that we're going to see at the Euros? Played against England the other day in that friendly, and that's Marcel Sabitzer. Marcel Sabitzer plays for RB Leipzig. Only valued at around about £15 million, which is very, very cheap. A very experienced midfielder, 27 years of age. Actually, RB Leipzig's current longest serving player and the captain as well. And he had 9 goals and 7 assists last season. He's been a consistent performer for RB Leipzig. He's played at high levels in the Champions League on a consistent basis and has always looked very, very good. What about him as an alternative in that midfield area? Attacking midfielder, as I said, £15 million. That's a steal. He's only got 1 year left on his contract. It doesn't look like he's looking to renew. So it's going to be time for RB Leipzig to cash in on him, or he just walks away for nothing next season. Tottenham said to be very, very interested. Arsenal have previously been very interested in him. Could they move back in for Marcel Sabitzer, which would, as I said, represent a steal? When you talk about players like Buendia going for the amount of money that he's gone for me, you can't put him in the same bracket as a Sabitzer when you look at what Sabitzer's done and the levels that he's played at for RB Leipzig. So it would represent a decent signing for me, but Is it something that Arsenal are going to entertain? Rumours are talking about it today. We don't know. Let's see how that one develops out. Eddie Nketiah. Now, again, this is an interesting one. Eddie Nketiah being apparently offered an extension and a new contract to Arsenal. And a lot of people are like, hey, new contract, Eddie. I thought we'd be looking to sell him. Again, his contract's up in 2022. And I think this is a move by Arsenal to up his value. You know, he's been at a club for a little bit now. Young player, you know, all right, he didn't have a great season last year, but still be a player that would command the value. You know, he's done well for England under 21s, etc., breaking records. Arsenal apparently offered him a new deal. We have to wait and see if he takes that new deal. Really and truly, if he wants to leave the club as well, he probably want to just leave the deal as it is at the moment, which will pave the way for him to leave at a cheaper price and make him more attractive to any suitors out there, rather than maybe sign a new deal and just sit around at Arsenal hardly playing games. Again, it's going to be an interesting one to see how that one pans out. But Eddie Nketiah apparently offered a new deal by Arsenal. Arsenal also taking a look at a new striker today. You know, we've been talking about Eddie and the fact that he might move on. There's also been talk that Alexander Lacazette might move on. Could that Alexander be on his way out for another Alexander? And that's Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak of R.SOCIEDAD, 21 years of age, a Swedish international, another player that we're going to get to see performing in the Euros, particularly with Zlatan Ibrahimovic being injured for Sweden. He's valued at about £20 million, scored 17 goals in 34 La Liga appearances last season for R.SOCIEDAD, who he plays for. This one now is a bit of a complicated deal. Now, he's valued at around about £20 million, which, you know, that's not too bad for, you know, a striker who had a good season scoring 17 goals, which incidentally, isn't that the same amount as what Lacazette scored? But 17 goals. But it's complicated by the fact that he was previously at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund sold him to R.SOCIEDAD, but they got a buyback clause. So they've literally got first refusal on him. A bit like the time when Cesc Fabregas was coming back, you know, after his stint at Barcelona, and Arsenal had that option to buy him back. It's a similar thing with Borussia Dortmund. They could buy him back and then look to sell him on for even more money. So it's a little bit complicated. The player himself has said in the past that he doesn't want to go back to Dortmund, that he's moved on from Dortmund. But when money's involved, you know what I mean, they might be weighing it up and saying that might be worth bringing him back. Going to have to wait and see how that one works out. Going to even have to see if Arsenal are actually really interested in him. Another player that's going to be, as I said, interesting to watch at the Euros. There's players that are going to play at the Euros, like Isak, that maybe their value's starting off at 20 million. If they have a good Euros, that could shoot up to 30 million. That's why sometimes it's best to get your business done before big competitions, because any of those players go to those Euros and have a stormer, that valuation is going to go right up. So Arsenal need to get their, you know, get their business done, which they haven't yet. So, you know, Arsenal also linked today with Ben White of Brighton. Now, Ben White is a centre-back, 23. Again, a very, very talented player. He was part of a Leeds squad when they got promoted up to the Premier League, and he was excellent in that season. Leeds wanted to keep him. Brighton said no. They took him back. He's had a good season for Brighton, broken into the England team, and a surprise inclusion in the final 26 for Gareth Southgate could figure at the Euros. Very, very, very highly rated indeed. Valued at around about £50 million. That's what Brighton are saying. They will only entertain £50 million to sell him. He's still very young. That's a lot of money for Ben White. Man United, Liverpool interested, and he, excuse me, he's making me choke. I'm so surprised. And Arsenal apparently linked with him as well. Why do we need another centre-back? I don't understand this link. Why would we want to go and spend £50 million on Ben White? He's a good player. When we've got Saliba coming back, we've got Mavropanos coming back, we've got Gabriel, you know, it just doesn't, you know, Pablo Mari, Rob Holding, Chambers, who can play as a centre-back if need be. Don't make no sense. I don't understand this rumour. And another centre-back that we're linked with is Tosin Adebayo of Fulham. Yeah, again, he had a decent season last year. Even though Fulham got relegated, he actually played all right. He's only valued at around about £10 million, 23-year-old centre-back. And as I said, even though Fulham, as we know, got relegated, there was a lot of people singing his praises and saying, this guy looks decent, he's going to get better and better. He was previously at Manchester City. As a matter of fact, Mikel Arteta will know him from his time at City. He didn't break through into City's team, but, you know, has done well at Fulham. And City apparently have a buyback clause not a buyback clause, a sell-on clause, that if he was sold, they get 20% of any fee. So they've been pretty smart with their dealings on him. Of course, he's available now that Fulham have been relegated. But will Arsenal move for him? Why do we need another centre-back? We don't. We don't need no centre-backs now, to me. The only way for me Arsenal should be entertaining a centre-back is if he's a very, very experienced top centre-back that is gettable. Ben White and Tosin, you know, two young centre-backs. We've got those already. We've got Gabriel, who I think is better than both of them. You know, we've got Saliba, you know, who done brilliant on his loan out in France. And as I said, Mavropanos even, who done brilliant on his loan as well over there in Germany. So I don't know. I just can't see anything in those links to these centre-backs whatsoever. But this is what we do on this show. We tell you about the links. We tell you about the players that are out there that are being heavily linked with us, and they are a couple of them. So what do you think? Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to AFTV. Like this video, as I say, and leave your comments. Love in the comments. Keep those recommendations coming in. I want to ask you, Marcel Sabitzer, would that be a good deal for Arsenal? Would you be happy if Arsenal got him done in the midfield? Would love to hear from you. Definitely going to be one of those players we're going to be seeing in the Euros. It's going to be interesting to see if his value goes up. But would you like to see him at Arsenal? Let me know. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget, tonight, AFTV News Daily. That's on at 7 o'clock. Make sure you check that out. And we'll be back tomorrow.